What's up guys, today we're going to be doing the best $100 smartphones, so let's get started. First phone is the Nokia 5, so this phone actually runs Android 9.0 and it was actually released in 2017, but they've updated this phone, so Nokia is really good with updates. It does have 16 gigabytes of storage. You can expand it with a micro SD. You do have a 5.2 inch display. It is a 720p display. You do have 2 or 3 gigabytes of RAM depending on the storage configuration, and the Snapdragon 430. You do have a 3000 milliamp battery and a 13 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p. So you don't have anything like really fancy on this phone. I do really love the design. It's very durable. If you know anything about Nokia phones, you do have a fingerprint scanner mounted, so this phone is not super fancy, but it definitely will get the job done. You're just not going to throw $100 away because this is a very durable phone and it's very capable of doing basic tasks. Next is the Samsung Galaxy A10e. So this is a very interesting phone. It does have a 5.83 inch display. It is 1560 by 720. You do have 2 gigabytes of RAM and a 8 megapixel 1080p camera, Android 9.0 with Samsung's UI of course, and you do have 32 gigabytes of storage, and you can expand that with a micro SD. Now you do have 3000 milliamp battery. What I love about this is the display. It has a really nice display. It's not a Super AMOLED. It's actually a PLF TFT display, but it's still pretty nice. You have a really nice screen to body ratio for a $100 phone. It's pretty impressive. Now the only thing with this phone is you don't really have a fingerprint scanner, but this phone is definitely capable of doing basic gaming, just basic web browsing, going through apps and stuff like that. This phone will definitely get the job done, no problem. Now the Moto E6 is another good phone that I really like. This is a great phone to get a kid. It's very dependable. So you do have Android 9.0 out of the box, 16 gigabytes of storage and a micro SD you can put into it. Now you do have a 720p display, 720 by 1440, a pretty decent 13 megapixel camera once you get it in good lighting, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and the Snapdragon 435. I was able to do gaming on it just fine. I was able to play PUBG. You do have a 3000 milliamp battery. This phone lacks a fingerprint scanner, which is very strange for a phone that was released in July 2019, and it does have a micro USB, no USB-C, so it's a little weird, but the hardware is really nice. It's very dependable. It does have a removable back, which is the unique thing about this phone, so you can take the battery out, which is cool. And overall the quality of this phone is just great. Speakers are great, cameras are decent. Overall, a nice little solid buy. Now if you're looking for a $100 phone that you want to use and get the most out of, it's definitely going to be the Coolpad Legacy. This has the best specs out of all these phones. So you have a 3980 milliamp battery, which will get you through 2 days of battery life. You have a full 1080p display, which is crazy for $100. It is a 6.36 inch display. 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage. You can expand that with a micro SD, and you do have the Snapdragon 450 processor. It's decent. You can play PUBG on low settings, of course. You can run through games just fine. And Android Pie with really no skin on top of it, and even USB Type-C. Now the camera on this phone is actually not that bad, especially when you use the portrait, but other than that, it just takes decent photos when you're in regular lighting. In good lighting, you'll get some pretty nice photos. So if you're looking for just a specced out phone, but the brand is not known, so who knows how long this phone is going to last. It did have really good hardware to me, but I've never used this brand for more than a year, so who knows, you have to take that risk, but it is a really nice phone. Last is another phone that I got to review that I really loved, the Moto G6 Play. It does have Android 9.0. It is a renewed version and it is unlocked, so that's pretty good. So you do have 16 or 32 gigabytes of storage, micro SD. You do have a 720p display. It is a 5.7 inch, a 13 megapixel camera, which takes pretty decent photos, nothing too crazy. 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the Snapdragon 430 processor was more than capable of running all the latest apps and playing PUBG on low, playing games and stuff, more than capable. The battery life was really nice on here. 4,000 milliamp battery, and it will get you through about a day and a half of battery life, 2 days if you're a light user. I really love the form factor. This is probably going to be the phone with the best hardware in my opinion. It just feels really great. Motorola makes solid hardware, and yeah, it's just a really nice phone. You have a fingerprint scanner, you even have the face unlock, you even have the Dolby audio. So this is just a really nice phone. I really enjoy using this phone. It's just really great, and it even has that splash resistant. You can't get it completely wet, but you know. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.